My name is Josiah Mvula from the Zambia Airports Corporation Limited. I've got a very short presentation that may maybe interest you to come and run one of the hotel projects we're running, or maybe develop a new one. Just a quick brief about Zambia. Zambia is about 752 square meters. We've got a population of 13 million according to the census in 2013. It's projected that we're about 16 million. We've got 8 neighbors. The major economic activities are mining, agriculture, and tourism. We've got a very stable political dispensation. So if you invest in Zambia, your investments are very safe. Zambia Airports Corporation is a limited company owned by government, 100% owned by the government. It primarily runs the 4 main international airports in Zambia. That's the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport in Lusaka, Harry Mwanga Nkumbula International Airport in Livingstone, Simon Mwansa Kapwepo International Airport in Ndola, and Mvula in the South Luangwa National Park. The government has invested about 1 billion in various infrastructure for airports. We've waited so long to have this infrastructure developed, and finally the government came through. In Lusaka, we've got a project costing about $360 million. It involves building of a new terminal building, 4 million capacity, plus 6 aero bridges. It's got a hotel that I'll be talking about shortly, a presidential pavilion, a cargo terminal, so many other infrastructure. The one in Livingstone was completed last year in December. It's actually currently in use. We're also building a greenfield airport on the Copper Belt. The reason is basically the runway cannot be extended in either way because the developments on either sides of the runway. So we're building a completely new airport, greenfield. It's going to cost about 397 million. And then we're yet to conclude development of an airport in Mvula, which will cost about 122 million. And then there's also a number of investments that have been done in infrastructure such as the radar, X-ray machines, and so forth. Well, this is just a snapshot of the statistics from 1990 up to 2016. As you can see, traffic has doubled from the last about 26 years, from about 800 to about 1.6 million. And just like everyone else, we've also experienced dips and highs due to activities around the globe, like the financial meltdown. We had slow growth 2015, 2016 due to the Ebola, which broke out in West Africa. Although it was so many thousand miles away, but the impact was still felt southern part of Africa. The current traffic growth as of January to August 2017 is about 6.5%. International and domestic are doing almost the same, 6.4 and 6.8%. Our biggest airport in Lusaka, which carries about 70% of the traffic, grew by 5%. And then we got now the biggest growth in Livingstone, which grew by about 22.2%. This has been fueled by Kenya Airways, who recently started operating between Nairobi, Livingstone, and Cape Town, and this route has been doing quite well. Our objectives, particularly tailored to this, is to grow non-aviation revenues for the organization. Aviation revenue is very stable, like the slide I showed you for showing the statistics. So we would like to grow the non-aviation revenue of the business. We've got vast tracts of land that we'd like to develop. Of course, we'd like to grow passenger traffic to occupy for passengers to use the infrastructure that we're building. And most important, we'd like to partner with private entrepreneurs, like the ones present here, to develop airport infrastructure. The current airport projects we have in Lusaka and Ndola, I'll start with the one in Lusaka. We've got a hotel that has been built. This is a 70-room hotel with rooms, 56 square meters for executive, and about 28 square meters for standard rooms. We're looking for an operator that can operate a brand which is between 3 and 4 star rating. We've got another 30 rooms that are being built inside the terminal building to cater for the transit passengers. The hotel will come with standard swimming pool, gym, restaurant, free Wi-Fi, but what's interesting is we also have self-check-in facilities at the reception area and a flight information display just at the reception. The project is currently 55% done. It's scheduled to be completed in December 2018. So like I said, what we require for this project is a hotel operator. We did send through an expression of interest sometime in April, but because of the strict procedures in shortlisting, a number of hotels and groups didn't make it to the next stage. So if there's some who would like to take part, I would encourage you to make sure that you make sure that all the questions in the EOI are adequately responded to. The one on the picture on the left basically depicts what the hotel would look like when it's complete, and then the picture on the right is how it looks like as at last month. The other project, we have the Greenfield Airport I was telling you about on the Copper Belt. We also come with a hotel. This is going to be slightly smaller. It will have 50 rooms, some executive rooms, and some standard rooms. We're also looking for between 3 and 4 star rating. The rooms will come standard like the other hotel with all the facilities, but also to have flight information display systems at the hotel and self-check-in facilities. The scheduled completion date for this project is 2021. Just like the project in Lusaka, we're looking for a hotel operator. So the expression of interest for this hotel will come out soon. We want to do this slightly different. With the Lusaka one, we went on and built, and then that's when we're looking for an operator. But I think this time around, for the Copper Belt one, we want to engage an operator before we actually do the brick and mortar. This is the conceptual drawing as how the finish is going to look like. We also have projects planned in Livingstone. This is the tourist capital of Zambia. We've got about 29,000 square meters of land that has been reserved for commercial activities. And one of the activities we'd like to have is obviously a hotel. We propose to have between 100 and 150 rooms, 3 to 4 star rating. Here we're targeting a developer who can come up with conferencing facilities. There are so many requests for people to have conferences in Livingstone, so they can combine the conferences with tourism, but we've got limitation right now in terms of conference facilities. Feasibility studies were done for the airport, very detailed, but I think the emphasis was on the airport master plan. So feasibility study for Livingstone is in process. There are a number of activities in Livingstone. I'll show you the next slide. So what is required for this project is basically a land developer and hotel operator. These are the activities that you find in Livingstone. You can have breakfast on the banks of the Zambezi, water rafting. You can have a village concept, a helicopter ride or microlight flight over the Victoria Falls, walk with the lions. This is very popular, by the way. We also plan to have a hotel project in Mvula. In Mvula, according to the master plan, we've reserved about 21,000 square meters of land for commercial development, and among them, of course, is a hotel. The South Luangwa National Park is just 20 minutes from the airport. We propose to have between, again, 100 and 150 rooms with a 3 to 4 star rating. Feasibility study, just like Livingstone, is also in process. The South Luangwa National Park is ranked 11th Africa's top safari park by safaribooking.com. Also, maybe most of you who watch National Geographic Wild, most of the material for hippos, lions, and most wildlife is actually from South Luangwa. Accommodation rates in the park rise to more than $1,000 per night during peak season. We've got very few lodges in the park, and of course, environmentalists do not want a lot of developments in the park. That's why we're trying to take the project out of the park into the airport, but with just a 20 minutes drive to the park. What we require for this is the land developer and also the hotel operator. This is what we have. This is what you can enjoy while in Mvula. So basically for Lusaka and, okay, this is the last one. For Lusaka and Ndola, we would like to partner with you on a management contract basis as operator. And then for the other projects, we've got options, either BOT, PPP, long lease, or joint venture basis. Thank you so much. My time is up.